Good evening, Palace fans. Welcome to this new vlog on the preview of the season for 2019-2020 for Crystal Palace. I know I've been away for a while on YouTube. I actually did my first ever Palace vlog roughly a year ago because I thought it would be quite fun to start doing some vlogs, trying to get some reaction from games, but I just never got around to doing it. Now I'm in a situation again where I quite like the idea of it, so I'm going to try and give it a try, hopefully for Everton at home this weekend and then Sheffield United away when I go there. Today, though, it's just going to be on a couple of points I want to talk about, in my opinion, on the transfer window that has just closed earlier today, and the singing section, because I think it's very important that I make it clear on why I think the singing section is important and why this transfer has been a total disaster. So I'll start with the transfer first, since that's the current situation, the most recent event, I should say. Although Zaha is staying, you take a very, very big risk at keeping your best player who doesn't want to be there anymore because he's most likely going to protest. Whether or not Zaha's going to do that until January, I don't know. But he should have handed in his transfer request way earlier in the summer, and this could have been dealt with. So that's a really, really... It's a bad point from his perspective. I understand he wants to go. He wants to go play Champions League, but you can't do lastminute.com in football and in many industries. And for me, there's no excuse. I'll just say to him, well, why are you telling me this now? I've not got time to get a winger. You're stuck here. You've got to deal with it. So I'd say to him, look, you're here till January, but I need you to put 200% in. You've got to show... If you are going to go to another club, you've got to show that you are putting in so much work, even if you're not happy. January, I promise you, I will put you on the transfer list as long as we get a good deal for you and I can find a replacement. The priority should find the perfect replacement for him and then sell him. That way, there's no hassle, no stress, and it should be done earlier, which is what I want to move on to now. We've not got a replacement right back. That should have been dealt with the moment Wan-Bissaka was sold, or even before he was sold. We should have been finding a replacement, and we've not got a decent striker. Benteke is not good. I would have sold him a long time ago. And Connor Wickham, since he got his broken leg, he is not the striker that he probably potentially was going to be, which was scoring plenty of goals, showing good physicality up front, but he's just not that player anymore. So both are probably going to just score one goal this season, and Benteke will go at the summer, and I do somewhat like the idea. This is quite controversial, but I like the idea of getting midfielders in. It is very vital, but the priority should be getting the positions that need sorted out first. In this instance, the striker and the right back. They should have been done, and the midfielders would have been nice to have as a bonus. And because that hasn't happened, I can see us conceding a lot this season. Even with bringing in Gary Cahill in at centre-back, because Joel Ward, he's just not the right back that he once was. He's no Wan-Bissaka, and Patrick Van Aanholt is better at attacking, in my opinion, than he is at defending. Having said that, I really hope that Mitchell from the academy gets promoted once he's back from injury, and I hope that Luke Dreyer would get a chance. Last season, we didn't see one academy come through, like we did with Wan-Bissaka, or in the past with Zaha, Moses, Klein. I want to see that more at Palace, and I think Luke Dreyer and Mitchell both fit that. For me as well, this is the second worst transfer we've had in recent years after the 2018 January one, and I'm not looking forward to January, to be honest, in the transfer window, because I can't see us getting anyone, doing lastminute.com and then selling Zaha and not getting a replacement. And I think Palace will stay up, but it's just going to be relegation's battle throughout the entire season, and we'll finish in 16th. I won't blame Roy for leaving, and I won't blame Luca for leaving, but I would really would love both to stay. But because they're not getting the backing that they deserve, that's what happens. If you're not going to support your teammates or control your army or upgrade it, you're just going to go backwards and fall downhill. Now, I have been finishing on the transfer, the summer transfer. As I said, I'm pleased with the midfielders we got and Gary Cahill, but I'm really not happy with this transfer in the situation that's happened with Zaha, and we haven't got a decent right back in or a decent striker. which is why I'm not looking forward to this season. I will always support Palace through thick and thin, no matter how many times we get relegated. But I have to frustrate or, say what I really think if it's not going right. And so finishing on for the transfer, I have always supported Steve Parish. I think he's a decent businessman. He's very sensible. He's a Palace fan, which makes it better. He's achieved something that we thought we could never do before, which was to stay up in the Premier League. We could have won the FA Cup had it not been for Mark you-know-who. But I think now that his tactics is just too old school and it's not right for where we are or where we want to take the club forward, I would like him to stay on as the chairman. It's funny because we brought up Everton a lot in the summer. I think that we should follow what they've done. Keep Steve Parish as the chairman so that he can, keep up the Crystal Palace spirit, the red and blue, so that we don't, drive hill when we all turn into a franchise or, we lose that passionate, South London pride community or passion together. But the owner should be someone who loves football but has got a lot of money and will spend straight away, like Everton have done, not leave it till the last minute where, a deal's going to fall through. You got to get the jobs done straight away. You can't be, there are times where being patient you got to, but in this instant, I don't think it does. You've got to get the jobs done, whatever they are, because that is bad for you. It's bad for you. It's bad for your club, and it's bad for the supporters and the players. So, I'd like if we still had, Palace people running the board and Parish as chairman, but I think I'd love it if, as soon as the Americans go, because it looks like they're on their way out, or they want to get out, but they've got to find the right people to take their 20% of Palace. We've got to find the right people. They want to find the right people who could potentially stay in the club long term. And I think we need someone who is just a decent owner who just puts money in and buys quality from day one, not on the final day. So that's what I want to say on that moment. I want to talk about the singing section, which has given me positive and something that I really am looking forward to. And I've always been pro the singing section. It's a very controversial topic that's happened since last season regarding the singing section. It amazed me that the moment that they stopped, and it was alleged that they threw the toys out the pram and they weren't coming back, that Palace fans started slating them, when, as far to my knowledge, 100% of Palace fans, season ticket holders or those who go on a regular basis, or any Palace fan, supported the Fanatics full stop by a country mile because of the passion, the non-stop fanatical belief that most clubs around the country don't have, particularly in the Premier League, and it gave good inspiration around the entire football world, you could say. And it's great. I'm a season ticket holder and I sit in the gallery just above where they used to sit, on the right-hand side of the Homesdale, but obviously now they're moving behind the goal. So I was always pro at supporting them no matter what in this case. I didn't agree with them throwing the toys out the pram, if that was to be the case, and that this situation should have been sorted better. But even a load of Palace fans, it just amazed me that Palace fans who came out anti-singing section, anti-Homesdale Fanatics, it amazed me that they never had said that before or tweeted it. I've never seen one tweet on Homesdale or Twitter, or post, I should say, or anything against them in terms of their singing, which amazed me when that came out and we had people saying, oh, they just wave little flags. It's not true. When you see all those flags together, it shows great... It's very hypnotising and very eye-looking and it gives you a good lift if you're the player. And the artwork they've done, whether it's the Alan Pardew or Roy Hodgson, the big ones they put in, or the team, or the Fortress one, it takes so much effort as an artist and patience, hours, months to do. So the fact that it's just like a little, flag or designs on a it's just very simple and takes 5 minutes is nothing. It really takes a lot of commitment to do that. So the amount of work they've done and support and the inspiration deserves so much credit. So I don't go with this that they've done wrong. Yeah, they may have, on the odd occasion, not been perfect, but when it comes to the support in the stadium, you know, even at Wembley or Selhurst Park, you know, that is something that I'm proud to be supporting Palace for, and that, you know, I wish a lot of clubs, you know, did, rather than just sit there in a Highbury library, if we can use that term. So I'm glad that it got sorted. It should have been sorted in a better way, because I do have sympathy that with the fans who are moving, and that it's going to look bad on the, probably in the first few games. You know, probably a bit of protest. You know, fans not coming back, but having said that, I think that by the end of the season, we'll all look back and say, yeah, it was controversial. It probably wasn't right in the sense. It could have been dealt with in a much fairer way. But was it good for the club, and was it actually worth it? Yes, it was. When I went to the Tottenham game in the FA Cup, where we won 2-0, and Connor Wickham and Townsend scored, that was the loudest I'd ever heard Selhurst, even louder than Liverpool 3-3. So it's beneficial for the club, and I think it will, it will definitely help the players on the pitch, without a doubt, and it will help, as I say, the fans up and down the country. So that's what I wanted to say. I've gone a bit over the board than what I thought I would do on those two topics. Hope to do more Palace videos, more Palace vlogs. Please follow me on Twitter at KingB1994, and subscribe if you want to hear more opinions. Hope to see you soon. Can't wait to be back at Palace this Saturday, and I look forward to seeing you all then. Good night. South London and proud.